which of course is one of the most important subjects as far as Pakistan is concerned. And now, so well covered by Jan Lodi and Amir Zulfikar Saab, I would like to dig in a little bit. I'm a practitioner, and I have been operating in some of these areas for quite a long time. Uh, Now, whatever is happening now at Pakistan is the result of the over 4 to 5 decades in the reasons of incidents have already been pointed out. They are regional players, they are international players. And then there are examples are in front of us. I will not go into those details. Point is, within our country, created which whenever they went inwards, we opportunity do what all they feel like and exploited. Anyone would have done the same if an up. Can we just have a look inwards and just have a look why we again in 70s and then again in 80s and 90s and now again wherever we are, you are as good informed as I am. I think we need to look in. Have it, half of Pakistan as far as Balochistan is concerned. While population might be only 6.3, 6.4%, but that does not mean anything. It's a huge place, and half of Pakistan at the moment is at stake. The question is, have we been fair with Balochistan? Our politicians, one after the other, right from inception of this country up to now. Now, what all we have done? We have tried to control that province through Sardars. Certain Sardars were a little more dear and near to the government as compared to others. Now, those times have gone. Now, those Sardars will not be able to now control populace, especially in the environment in which media is so open. Everybody has got an access, and everybody's pocket or hand is with a mobile, and he can see what all is happening. So, gentlemen, the control of province through Sardars was an old technique which should be totally avoided. Let's go to KPK. But first, just a moment. Balochistan, yes, it is a an insurgency of a very high order. KPK, it is terrorism on the brink of insurgency if we do not, again, correct our own ways. In KPK, the current situation started off after 9/11. The FATA again was being governed till 9/11 through Maliks of those areas. The government, it was not even adult franchise. Those Maliks were the people who used to vote their leaders who should have come to the assembly. So now those Malik have been ousted. People down below, external forces played. TTP jumped up 2005, 6, and then 7. A new organization came up. There were people to help them, and there we are. Initially, we talking to them, but still, due to kinetic prongs and some other steps, government was able to control erstwhile FATA, and a little semblance of peace was seen and observed in the last 8 to 9 years. But then again, we are at square one. We are at square one. Why? Where did we go wrong? I think we went wrong, first of all, diplomatically. Now, this is true for both what all is happening in Balochistan and what all is happening in KPK. When we thumbed our chests that we have been helping Afghanis, so that Americans should leave this area, they left. And when they left, were we of any who come in power? We were very sure that Taliban will come. There was no third force. Nobody of Americans going out of this area. So Taliban and Taliban do. Oh, you do not want to recognize them. Why are you making efforts that Americans should have gone out of this place? No love lost for America, but then at least there was still some semblance. So you asked them to leave. You tried your best, your diplomatic maneuver, the Qatar parlays, and what all. You all know it as good as I know. They left, and we still did. Till today, we have not recognized TTP. Now, if you do not recognize a fellow, what are you asking him? That they should cooperate with you? You're asking him that they should be now sitting down with you on table and decide with you that okay, TTP should not be funded or helped or how area probably would have done it. Regions of that area, I must say, they great. I think we impressed them by not recognizing them. And of course, the world also did not recognize because we did not. And we were afraid. As always, we were afraid of one thing on the other. And our foreign policy, I think it's not an independent foreign policy. We have got shackles and we just go the way they to go. And I think this needs to be really. The other thing which went wrong was that during all these operations, we promised them that we are going to change this entire area, let it be Balochistan or the erstwhile FATA, and the type of funds which were being promised at that time, and now I'm talking of KPK, I thought it's going to be about to become New York. Because so many funds I've never seen even given to some of the provinces which they promised at that time to be given. Where are they from those funds? Why they have not been invested? Have we changed anything in those areas? Are the people still living the same life, or there's some improvement in it? I think the failure of this developmental prong, of course, is a very big issue which we have not been able to solve. Same is true for Balochistan. Insurgency after insurgency, but we did not allow them a clear uh, run up to the political work. The politicians, we know the politicians in Balochistan who are governing at the moment, who are they? I leave it to the other politicians to judge. Are they the representative of the people of Balochistan? Well, if they are, then they should be asked as to why they have not been able to control and convince their constituencies and why what all is happening is happening. But I'm afraid that still the same Sardars, the faces change, their interests do not, still are going in the same way. Now, what is the way forward? We can, there are so many mistakes that we will take too long to discuss them. Having said that, I believe, a firm believer, that we need to have Afghanistan, the present government of Afghanistan, as soon as possible. Give them that strength that we recognize that government. And do we have any other option? I mean, this is the reality. They are going to stay there. They're not leaving. As you cannot put your neighbors out, the neighbors would stay wherever they are. They are geographical neighbors. And hence, at the moment, you'll not be able to wish them out. Sorry, that will not happen. And if that will not happen, I think, you, I mean, in one way or the other, we need to now go ahead by recognition of that government and then involve with them to bring them at the table and then ask them what all we ask. Give them some time. They also might be needing time. And then finally, do ask them what all you want to ask. We on the notion of interdependence of security with Afghanistan. The security of Pakistan and Afghanistan is interdependent. This needs to be pressed on them. And I'm sure they are very reasonable people, Jahandida hai, and they know what we are talking or what we would be talking. I think this interdependence with each other is a role which might as well play in future. Volcanic prongs should continue wherever there is a mischief. Something has to be done. You cannot wait and for a good opportunity. The kinetic prongs must be more accurate and must go on the way they are. Rather, should be even exceeded. But please open the doors for dialogue. And when we say open the door for dialogue, it is not that we will not do a dialogue with one fellow and do it with the second. It should be open for all. Let it be a national dialogue, a provincial dialogue, where people should sit from all walks of life, sit together, including those who at the moment are involved in these mischievous activities, and let's talk it out. What are their needs? Why they are doing so that the opportunity which we have given to some of our regional players, India in particular, and even other regional, I think, powers, that should be outed once for all. We now should, the time has come that we now should be managing, the government should be managing the populace directly and through SARS and not through Maliks. And as I've said umpteen number of times, I would like to say it here on this forum also. When Balochistan and KPK, when issues are happening, and we know who is doing, we are very clear. This war has to be taken to their. We should not be the only ones suffering. Let's take it to their territories. Until the time we don't do it, only defensive measures here, rushing fire brigade approach will never work. And I'm telling you, never work. Have some spine, take them if they want. If this is the language they understand, let's make them understand in the same language. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you. I'm not hearing it.
Thank you so much, sir. This was really comprehensive discussion from your side. Thank you again. Thank you for your comprehensive and insightful analysis. I think this is the end of this moderated session. Thank you for all the panel. We will now move towards the question and answer session. I request participants to please post their questions in the chat box and please mention the name of the speaker to whom you are questioning. And this session will go for 5 to 10 minutes. Go on, participants. All the questions you have, please write in the chat box.
अगर किसी का सवाल है you can write in chat box please. Amna, please ask, please. Amna, unmute.
So there's a question. Amjad Ali is asking, are we fighting terrorists only with guns, but not fighting the ideas in people's minds that create terrorism? And how can we stop extremist thinking of youth of Pakistan? Such a great question, sir. And he addressing to Lieutenant General retired Naeem Khalid Saab.
I would say that even if we are trying other ways, which are the political things and winning the hearts and minds, active. We claim that we are trying to do it because the problem is that the people nowadays are not that if you tell them that you are doing something for them, they can very easily find out that what actually is being done. So as I said, that people can they can tolerate hunger for some time, but I'm just talking generally that I think we have not been able with economically and socially, and we all know that what I'm saying. So you have to start with justice and merit and the true representation of the people. If you do that, any amount of lecturing, any amount of saying that we are doing this and we are doing that, and even if you are actually doing some economic in mind, the first thing that has to be done is political justice. Other things will follow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. There is another question, and that is also from you. Do you think Pakistan's counter-terrorism strategy is productive enough to prevent future radicalization, or it is mainly reactive? And what structural reforms are urgently needed to break this cycle permanently? Dr. Mohsin Raza is asking this question कि permanently इस चीज का क्या solution दिया जा सकता है?
Yeah, I think a very good question by Dr. Saab, and I think Zulfikar Khan Sahab has answered that question already, but I will just reiterate it, that anti-terrorism campaign or even counter-insurgency, campaigns, they are not and they cannot be only kinetic responses. And all three of us, we have said this thing, that there has to be a political response, there has to be a diplomatic response, and I'll come back to diplomatic response a little, later also. There has to be a social response and also economic response. Is not a, you have to do all these things to really create a trust between the people and they should believe that whatever you say, you are doing it. Now, there's one point which General brought out, and that is where I was saying a diplomatic response. That one, good foreign policy should indicate that you should have friends all around. Okay, if you cannot have friends all around, at least try to have maximum friends all around. So if you have enemies all around, so actually that is a failure of your diplomatic maneuver and political maneuver, one thing. And secondly, yes, he was right that if you do not go for the root cause, if you just keep on fighting the puppets and do not act against the puppeteers, which are actually, moving the strings, you have to cut those hands which are actually moving these puppets. You can keep on fighting these puppets for years and years, more puppets will be created. So a comprehensive approach is that you have to see which are the forces behind it, deal with them, try to deal with them politically, diplomatically, and if not possible, whatever other means are available. You have to make sure that the people get justice, which I've said. You have to ensure some economic activities, and then also keep on employing the kinetics wherever it is required. Thank you.
I would like to add here, with the permission of the moderator.
जी
Can
जी
you
आप
hear me? अच्छा, इसमें देखें जो सवाल है ना वो बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट है और यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड जो सवाल कर रहे हैं कि इट्स अ वेरी लॉन्ग ड्रॉन बैटल. ये बैटल ऑफ द माइंड्स जो है एक्चुअली दैट इज द बैटल. बाकी तो फिजिकल है ना एस्पेक्ट उसका, बट जो वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड के अंदर आपकी लड़ाई है, अब जिस स्पीड पर इंटरनेट फैल रहा है, जाहिर है इसका फायदा जो टेररिस्ट हैं वो भी उठा रहे हैं, गवर्नमेंट भी उठा रही है. Now we have to come up with a plan where we are able to identify the red spots, number one. Number two, we have to have certain countermeasures in place because kinetic, जैसा मैंने पहले अर्ज किया था, सिर्फ kinetic measures के साथ आप terrorism को खत्म नहीं कर सकते. You have to win the battle of the minds. और ये जितनी फोर्सेस हैं आपकी जो कंबाइंड हैं अगेंस्ट बलूचिस्तान एंड केपी एंड पाकिस्तान, ये जाहिर है दे आर आल्सो प्लानिंग ना। अब ये कलभूषण जब पकड़ा गया, उसकी जब सारा इंटेरोगेट हुआ, तो वी ऑल नो कि वो क्या गेम प्लान था। और ग्रेटर बलूचिस्तान की बात अभी माइक पॉम्पियो और ये वो सारी जो चीजें चल रही हैं, तो आई थिंक इट्स स्टार्ट ऑफ अ सेकेंड ग्रेट गेम. And we will need to have our financial audits in place. We will need to have a very, very proactive जो हमारा इंटरनेट मॉनिटरिंग का सिस्टम है वो होना पड़ेगा. हमें काउंटर नैरेटिव पे बड़ा सीरियसली काम करना पड़ेगा. मैं अभी टाइम है जी हमारे पास. कैन आई शेयर वन एग्जांपल?
या सर, आप कंटिन्यू करें. वी हैव अ टाइम
अच्छा,
प्लीज.
Yes, sir, we have the
ये
time. You can please continue if you want.
जी, I was Lahore police chief some years back. So we got two suicide, and I interrogated them personally, and I'll not name the tribe to which they belonged. एक 16 साल का था, एक 18 साल का था. वो अल्लाह का शुक्र हुआ कि वो हमने पकड़ लिए. And once I interrogated them, I was surprised by the belief they had that whatever they were doing was right. And जब हमने वसल्लम के ऊपर हमने दरूद भेजा, तो इसमें देखो शॉक्ड. उन्होंने जी हमें ये बताया कि हम नए लोग हैं, ये काफिर है और इस्लाम को नहीं मानते, और हम यहाँ पे खिलाफत के लिए आए. एंड अगर हम अपना हमें पकड़ते और हम मर जाते तो हम सीधा जन्नत में जाते और हमें रिसीव किया जाता. अब द पॉइंट इज, this is something very serious, why I'm highlighting is कि this is battle of the minds. आप एक 18 साल के बच्चे को आप क्या बिलीव करेंगे? मिसाल के तौर पे अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं अभी कि 2+2 क्या है, तो आप सारे कहेंगे 4 है. Why? Because that is what you have been taught. So you have to go back to the basics. Kinetic measures, जनरल रबानी said, absolutely, वो तो there is no discussion on that. इनकी ऐसी की तैसी है, वो इंशाल्लाह we are capable of handling that. But I think it's a much larger battle. And ये जिस तरह से narratives की जंग चल रही है. And also remember, crime is like water. They learn from each other. अभी जो नाइजीरिया में बोको हराम के साथ हुआ, या जो और जगहों पे टेररिज्म हो रही है across the world, they all interconnect, so they learn. So I think I would just like to end it. The question was very important, and we need to have connected plus the narrative countermeasures in place. And I think that is the best. और political inclusivity की जब तक नहीं होगी, जो मोदी ने भी रेफर किया, I think वो बड़ा जरूरी है कि we sit as a bouquet. और को किसी ने हेल्प हमारी करनी नहीं. We can't change our geographic entity. We can't change our geographic location. जैसे neighbors के साथ हमने through diplomacy, better relations. Thank you so much.
So there is a question from Amir Sahab. How can Pakistan's government and civil society work together to promote tolerance, peace, and counter-radicalization? यानी कि पाकिस्तान की गवर्नमेंट और सिविल सोसाइटी क्या कर सकती है इन सब चीजों को सही करने के?
If I can integrate here, I think the question itself has an answer within it. Because देखिए हर चीज गवर्नमेंट पे डाल देना, I think that is not fair. और क्या civil society, to be very honest and blunt about it, has it really delivered? What measures has the civil society taken in the last 10-20 years कि जहां पे उन्होंने कोई ऐसा एक मजबूत प्लान आया हो जिसके अंदर, देखिए ना हमारे इश्यूज क्या हैं. हम एथनिकली डिवाइडेड हैं, हम बेसिस पे डिवाइडेड हैं, हम इकोनॉमिकली डिवाइडेड हैं. ये तो नहीं कि सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में, बाकी दुनिया में भी ऐसी डिविजन हैं. तो व्हाई इज दैट कि हमारे पास वायलेंस ज्यादा है? व्हाई इज इट कि वी कैन नॉट लिसन टू एनी काउंटर आर्गुमेंट? यानी कि मैं ये समझता हूँ कि जो मैं कह रहा हूँ ये हरफ आखिर है और बाकी किसी को कुछ पता नहीं. ऐसे नहीं है. वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि देखिए ये जो आज की जनरेशन है, ये 65-70% 35 साल से छोटी है. मेरे या जनरल साहब की जो जनरेशन है, मुझे तो अभी जूम का भी नहीं पता था. वो मैंने किसी को रिक्वेस्ट की कि मुझे आप जूम लगा दें. ऑल्दो आई हैव बीन अटेंडिंग बट आई डोंट नो हाउ टू डू इट. सो अब आज का जो बच्चा है वो 7 साल का मुझे आके मेरा नवासा लगा देगा कि ना ना ये ऐसे आप कर लें इसको. सो टू काउंटर दैट, अब अगर उस बच्चे के पास एक रिपोजिटरी ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन है, अनकंट्रोल्ड, अनफिल्टर्ड, और वो आप एक बात करते हैं कि जी ऐसे नहीं है, वो जाके चैट जीपीटी पे टाइप करता है और वो अपना जवाब ढूंढ लेता है. सो यू हैव टू कम अप विद वेरी मैच्योर प्लेटफॉर्म्स वेयर यू काउंटर द नेगेटिविटी. और देखिए, इस्लाम की बात अगर आप कर लें, व्हाट वाज द वन मैसेज व्हिच द प्रॉफिट गिव? सिर्फ एक मैसेज था कि आप जो मुसलमान है वो एक जिस्म है. अगर दांत में दर्द एक जगह होता है तो पूरे जिस्म में दर्द. क्या हमने अपने नेबर्स के राइट्स पूरे किए? सिविल सोसाइटी से क्या हमने कोई ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया है जिसके अंदर हम खुल के बात कर सकें? अभी ये वुमेन मार्च होता है 8 मार्च को. आपको अंदाजा नहीं कि वो कितनी बड़ी एक स्ट्रेस आ जाती है. हमारे कोई किसी किसी चीज पे हम एग्रीमेंट में नहीं है. सो आई थिंक सिविल सोसाइटी नीड्स टू टेक द लीड. और जो हमारे दानिश्वर हैं उनको आगे आना चाहिए, उनसे उनको बात करनी चाहिए, उनको डिस्कस करना चाहिए. एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑब्वियसली इज वेरी कॉग्निजेंट ऑफ द फैक्ट के जो कुछ सीरियस चैलेंज है. एंड गवर्नमेंट, व्हेन आई से गवर्नमेंट, आई इंक्लूड ऑल द एलिमेंट्स. Nobody is going to do his best. ये जरूर आप जहन में रखें कि nobody sleeps easy, whether he's a police officer or he's a politician or he's a army officer or whatever. Everybody who's in the position of power, वो सबको फिक्र है और सब लगे हुए हैं. और सबसे बढ़ के देखें ना, हमने तकरीबन 1 लाख शहादत की है पिछले 20 साल. I want to ask, you think it's a joke? All of us have paid with our lives. अभी आर्मी के अंदर, I belong to an army family, my father and grandfather, everybody. हर यूनिट में शहादत है. वो क्यों? Why are they laying down their lives? Young officers are laying down their lives because we love Pakistan. This is our motherland. This is our home. So civil और हर चीज डाल देना गवर्नमेंट करे, ये I would
or Ibn al-Alamgir is asking a states does not recognize the Taliban government as the official government of Afghanistan. Then if Pakistan were to formally recognize the Taliban-led Islamic Emirate Afghanistan in 2006, it would be a high-stakes gamble, or he's just asking this. About this again, the problem of Pakistan and international and economic isolation of Pakistan, I think he just want to ask that Taliban government is the official government of Afghanistan. If Pakistan were to formally recognize Taliban-led Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, then how it would be possible scenario?
Whom is asking from? I can just take initiative. I just first of all congratulate our Bangladesh brother that they had very good elections, and we are very happy that they are again back on the democratic lines, and especially affiliation that has erupted again between the two brotherly countries. That is appreciable, and in the long run, I think these two countries, Pakistan and Bangladesh, they will cooperate, and that will be good for both the countries. That is what General Rabbani was saying, and I would suggest that General Rabbani should answer this question: that why did we not recognize Afghanistan, and what would have happened to us if we had recognized it? I'll throw it to General Rabbani, please.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible? Because my picture has vanished, and I'm also not that good on all these
नहीं आपकी
media.
आवाज आ रही है, पिक्चर भी आ रही है.
But आवाज. The point is that those external forces might be living 17,000 kilometers away from Afghanistan, but Afghanistan is next door to us. They are immediate neighbors. The repercussions we face, and not anybody else in West or anywhere else. We need to first of all decide and say as to what is our national interest, and forget about this thing that what will international words say. Let them say what all they feel like. We have to make our own country and surroundings safe. And I think this should have been the step one, to recognize that government as soon as possible. And there was another question also which I can see. I will just like to combine that and then answer that why to recognize them, why uh, well, gentlemen, this is that egg and chicken situation, that which is going to be the first and which is going to be the later. They never helped TTP. I've stayed in those areas for 9 years. I have not come across a single Afghan TTA soldier or an Afghan national working with them at all. Nowhere at all. Why they are doing it now? Because they are also tired. We what they say, and I need we should address that also. And I think things, of course, improve, and we should be bothered by our own issues, which are more important, our own national interests, which should actually overrule all other rest of the world. Thank you.
Uh, as- Sir, I have a
Walaikum
question.
salam.
Sir, I have especially have a question from you. I wanted to ask from you. अभी आपने जैसे external forces का बात किया है. I have a question कि आपने जो way forward बताया, जो आपने discuss किया, उसमें आपने point highlight किया कि we must have to open the doors for the dialogue. So, sir, my question is that okay, there is a need to open the door for a dialogue, but how to ensure the external forces do not exploit that, openness, undue pressure or influence, and what concrete the safeguards will protect our national interest in the process, and also the external forces as well as the internal conflicts we are going to deal with such basic problems if we have to open the door for the dialogue, because यही main issues हैं जिनसे हम अगर deal कर लें तो then we can comfortably open the door for the dialogue.
Right, thank you very much. I think the question is addressed to me directly. So, while the dialogue is not going to, if today you wish that the dialogue should start, it will not start tomorrow. You really have to work for it, but you have to wait. And when government is the bigger brother, rather it's like father. So you have to wait and see and ask them times and again, let's sit down. We'll sort out your issues. And ask them to sit down, and then we can discuss what all we can. And meanwhile, the kinetic go the way it is. This is one. Secondly, there are going to be spanners, and the spanners are going to be thrown by some of our regional countries, and India especially, which has got not only a finger but complete hand in what all is happening in these two provinces of Pakistan. We have to put our own house in order. And to be with the developmental prong. Right from today onwards, that government will develop those areas, bring normalcy there, and this slowly and steadily, ward off all these external powers to intermingle and do what all they are doing at the moment. So it's a very long haul. It's not at all a situation which can be handled overnight. It will take its own time. Let's take the first step. Open the doors. Ask them. Majboor kare unhe. Let's sit down. Let's discuss what is your problem. We are here to solve it. And if they are not being given any, sort of a place in the in the power politics of Pakistan, we should give it to them because they are part of the same country. And let's not start depending upon just few stooges left and right, and then not depend on the populists. I think go back to the population, ask what are their needs, try to address it as much as possible, and concurrently open the dialogue table, do whatever you feel like. And of course, kinetic is wherever it is. Thank you.
So there is a
Thank you so
very good question, I would say, from Sahab from NDU University, Islamabad. He's asking that what are the reasons for the opposition for tribal? The locals are against it, despite threats of terrorism activities or terrorist activities are there. So why वो जो एक local लोग हैं वो government के military operations के खिलाफ क्यों हैं? Such a thoughtful question, sir, please. And he's asking from Lieutenant General Sir Naeem Khalid Saab.
Although General Rabbani, because he has been there, I've been looking at it from a distance, all right, but I would suggest that he should answer that question.
Thank you very much, sir. I take this question on. One has to have a look as to how many operations we have done in all these. And we have already, and they have been cooperating with us. Let me tell you, in all those operations, I never saw even the local population was not with us. While they could not say it openly, they're afraid because they live there. उनके बच्चे रहते हैं, उनके families हैं, they cannot say it open, but they were with us. But how many times we will promise them that we will change this country into New York, if not anything else, and we fail it. We have failed them throughout, and they do not believe us. And let me tell you, now wherever we are, there is that social contract seems to be breaking between government and people of that area. And the social contract is that government is supposed to do something, and the people who are living there and then are supposed to then allege their allegiance in the same manner. Are we doing it? I think we have not done. We have failed them times and again, and they do not believe in us. They say that again the military operations are on, and they are promising that everything is going to be over. It will not be over. Again, the doors will be open and people will again come back from Afghanistan in one formula or the other. So first of all, I think there's a reason that all these issues which we related to FATA or Balochistan should first at level a way forward, and then keep on going on that way forward. It should not be on the personal interest of a fellow or a group of people. To be as per the, and I know